Hello, welcome to my channel Conscious Growing. This is Matthias. Surprise, surprise, this is the first video in English. And please forgive me in advance, I'm not a native speaker, but I like to speak in English as well. So please join this video with me. And what I want to share today is a practice I've done in the last couple of months. And it was really helpful according to the symptoms, chronic symptoms. So, first of all, I want to make you understand that when we have chronic symptoms and when we have flare-ups, the nervous system is on very hyper alert, and that means we are not in a rational mode anymore. We can't think rational. So we tend to feel fear in our bodies, the mind is racing, all these kind of things. And so there are many techniques out there, grounding techniques, breathing techniques. And what I want to share today is more a technique to observe the situation. So what does it mean? It means when I feel that symptoms go up, when I feel I'm on this edge of being engaged mentally, when this catastrophic thoughts come up and all these energies, and before I totally get into the rabbit hole, I want to stop here and I decide to come back to myself, to decide to stop this whole procedure. Because the procedure going down the rabbit hole is very habitual, it's very old, and it's probably developed in our childhood and then through our adult life. But not now, in the presence of symptoms and fears, these old patterns are reactivated, or maybe better to say on the surface. And this practice itself is very simple, but it's challenging in the beginning. So what I do is sometimes I close my eyes, sometimes I do it with open eyes, sometimes I do it while sitting, and sometimes also while lying down. But the main thing is to be aware that I'm just an observer. And when I start to observe, I try to see what's on the surface. Most of the times it's these crazy thoughts, anxious thoughts, and what I want to do is I want to recognize them. I just want to see that they are there, but I don't want to feed them. I don't want to put more fuel on the fire. And then next, I'm sensing my body. So what's there right now? What kind of sensations do I observe? And you already see what's happening. I smoothly take away the attention from my anxious thoughts and lead them towards the body. And this is an aspect of somatic tracking, maybe. So in best case, I can even be a little bit curious about the sensations themselves. And it's always good to consider that these symptoms are not dangerous. We have them for a while and nothing bad ever happened. They don't feel good, they don't feel nice, they don't feel pleasant, they scare us, yes. But now, while we are this neutral observer, and in best case we are more than just neutral, in best case we can be the caring adult who gives space to this energy, this old blocked energy, this scared energy. But the pattern usually is that when these wild, crazy thoughts come up, that we give rise to them. We put fuel on the fire. We add our own catastrophic thoughts, or better to say, this part, this child, you might say, is running the show with his thoughts. And so now you're the adult, you step one step back, and you say, okay, my child, I'm here with you. I don't want to feed your thoughts, but let's be here together and just sense what's here. What kind of sensations? Where is it blocked? Where does it feel blocked? Tickling sensations, pains, whatever. We allow it to be there. We don't pull our bodies together. We know it's not dangerous. And this knowledge that it's not dangerous gives us the courage to investigate like this. And so far I've just spoken about the two aspects, the thoughts and the physical sensations. But usually there are always some emotions connected to the symptoms. And sometimes the sensations themselves or the thoughts might be so loud that we don't even recognize the emotional state. And here's the point. The longer you're in this practice, and I don't mean you have to do it for hours, just a few minutes is enough. Don't spend your whole day doing this. But from time to time, when it flares up, when it seems to get more uncomfortable, then it's a good time to do this. And even if it's just for a few moments. And when you are in this state of being the observer, emotions might come up. Fear, or anger, or grief, or other kinds of emotions. But the just mentioned ones are the most common ones. So when they come up, it's a wonderful opportunity to feel them. To feel, to allow the fear to be there, to allow the anger to be there. to allow the sadness to be there. And just feel it. And so in this way, you're teaching your brain that you're able to deal with your emotions, to deal with these suppressed emotions, and they might have been suppressed for many, many years. So now this is the opportunity to let them come up. And you just might notice in your body the tendency that the body wants to tense up. It wants to protect himself. But with your conscious mind, you can invite your body to stay open. Soften your shoulders, soften your arms, soften your neck, feeling your sitting bones, feeling your feet on the floor. And you make a little conscious offer to stay open for the experience in itself. And then see what changed or what happened. Are you still very anxious, excited, sad? And everything is okay in the end. And it really is, because you met this old pattern of avoidance. You open up for it. You gave space. And this is huge, because this is something you haven't probably done most of your life. And it can happen that in the beginning some emotions get even stronger. The fear might even get stronger. And the reason why is very simple. This child, let's call it like this, was always protecting. And now it comes to the surface, and that's scary for this child. So of course, you have to find ways to nurture, to have a good self-talk. It needs some courage. But with time, you get more used to it. And the more you get used to it, the more you are able to stay with it. And the greatest benefit from my perspective is that you might see it as there are many, many knots, and they're tied together. Thoughts, feelings, it's all mixed up. And that causes a trouble, because we are not able to look at it separately. But this ability to watch it separately and really figure out what's on the surface right now, and I pay attention to this, what's on the surface, this what wants to be felt. And for me, this practice means self-empowerment, because when you're the victim of all these symptoms, of all these emotions, of all these physical sensations, or you're hiding or you have worried thoughts all day long, then you are in trouble. Then you sit in the rabbit hole most of your time. But this is a way of self-empowerment, because you use your mind and you decide what to look at. And with practice, it will get better and it will get calmer. And you want to learn to be the master of your own mind and not the slave of your mind. And this practice helps you to find out on which side you are. So that's it for today, and I hope this is helpful. Comments down below, and I'm looking forward for the next topic. Be safe, be well, bye.